He wanted to.
Terence Crawford's 37. Devin Heaney said he thinks he would like him to retire. Do you agree with that statement?
He can do whatever he wants to do. He's been dominating for a long time too, so he can do whatever he wants to do. I would like to see him retire because it'd be hard for anybody to top that, and they definitely put him on the top 5 list, and he's able to stay there because he hasn't been beat.
Last question. Is Terence Crawford the greatest of all time?
Absolutely the greatest of all time.
Where does he rank?
I don't know, but he's not the greatest of all, absolutely greatest of all time.
Roy Jones Jr. has completely rewritten the script for Terence Crawford's next chapter, shifting attention away from the anticipated Canelo rematch and toward a direction almost no one expected, identifying the one missing piece in Crawford's legacy that only Erislandy Lara can provide. According to Roy, this isn't just about another belt. It's about closing the last open door in Crawford's resume, and Lara is the dangerous, elusive puzzle piece that could finally complete his masterpiece.
As Canelo Alvarez has been a great fighter his whole career, people like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome, and more angrier, and more meaner than both of those guys. So you know if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there, take that blueprint, and
understand why Roy Jones Jr. is pushing for this specific move. You have to look at Terence Crawford's record. Bud has collected belts at 135, 140, 147, in 154 pounds, then jumped all the way to 168 to dethrone Canelo, leaving a clear gap at the 160-pound middleweight division. In the eyes of a historian like Roy Jones, that gap is a missing link. He believes going back down to capture a middleweight title isn't a step backward, but a strategic masterstroke, what he calls closing it off. Crawford secures a belt at 160. The sequence becomes complete, and the argument for him as the greatest fighter of his generation grows nearly indisputable.
Because he skipped over that, he went dream middleweight. No, he went dream middleweight, then went super middleweight. So he may go back to just capture middleweight title to close the gap, like I wish I would have did with the cruiserweight title. So I think he does.
The middleweight division has been a quiet, overlooked battleground in recent years, overshadowed by the stars at 168. But Roy Jones Jr. believes that's exactly why it's perfect for Crawford. The champions at 160 are dangerous, but lack major star power. Giving Crawford full leverage, he wouldn't be the B-side, but the dominant force coming down to claim what he wants. For Jones, this division offers the easiest path to the biggest historical payoff.
I want to ask you about Terence Crawford as well.
Yeah.
A lot going on with him at the moment. No one knows his next move.
Right.
What would you like his next move to be?
I think he should go down and win a title at 160 because he won at 47, 40, 54, 68. Go get 60 and you closed it all. That's fine.
Yeah. Would you like to see a rematch with Canelo?
Not really.
Okay. What about Canelo, I guess? What would you like to see in the future
I
for
don't
him?
know. Canelo can do anything he wants to. He's done so much already. There's really not much left for him to do. So it's really, I think Canelo probably could either take the rematch or close the door because Canelo's done.
The timeline gets interesting here. The middleweight picture is blurry now. But everything becomes clear on December 6, 2025, when WBO IBF champion Yanibek Alimkhanuly faces WBA champion Erislandy Lara in a major unification bout that doubles as an audition. Roy Jones Jr.'s entire strategy depends on the winner of this fight, Yanibek, the avoided knockout threat from Kazakhstan, or Lara, the crafty Cuban veteran and oldest active champion with a style that frustrates everyone. Whoever emerges with all 3 belts instantly becomes Crawford's prime target.
Erislandy Lara because he's 40. But I would never come out of my mouth and call Erislandy Lara a weak link. I think there's no elite fighters at one.
While Yanibek is the young lion, many believe Roy Jones Jr. is secretly eyeing Erislandy Lara. Lara pulls off the upset. Lara represents the old guard, a veteran technician who understands the sweet science on a level that mirrors Crawford's, setting the stage for a true chess match between 2 elite southpaws. If Lara can withstand Yanibek's power and unify the titles, he becomes a legacy opponent for Crawford, a respected name, who has remained relevant for over a decade and once gave Canelo serious problems, offering Crawford yet another chance to say, "I did it better than you," in his rivalry with the Mexican superstar.
Bud's like my brother. I've been with him for
The past probably 7 camps. He's taking 0 shortcuts. He's always 100% to himself. He never cheats himself, so. We're just in a routine. We know what happens. We come out here, just pass the time working out. Pass as fast. You work out so many times a day and get to it.
Crawford isn't just sitting at home waiting for a call. He's already making moves. He was recently spotted at the WBO convention, seated right beside Yanibek Alimkhanuly's team, and he didn't hold back. Staring directly into the camera, he said, "I got my eyes on you." Whether it was a warning or playful jab is unclear. But one thing is certain. Crawford is locked in on the 160-pound division.
Say the same thing. You know, I'm going to sit down with my team, and we're going to discuss what's next in the future for Terence Crawford. And, you know, who knows? I might go down to 160.
Johnny, we're here next. Looking for you. Looking for December 6th, how you're going to do it.
I got my eyes on you, Janabek.
This viral clip makes it clear that Roy Jones Jr.'s plan is already in motion. Crawford is actively stalking the middleweight champions. He knows the winner of the December 6th showdown holds the key to his 6th weight class title, and he wants them to know he's coming for everything they've got. The other half of Roy's advice is the most controversial. Leave Canelo alone. Jones believes a rematch with Alvarez is a higher risk, lower reward move for Crawford's legacy. In his eyes, Canelo has mileage, is recovering from elbow surgery, and has already been beaten by Crawford. Doing it again proves nothing. If Crawford loses, it tarnishes the first win, and if he wins, critics will claim Canelo was old and injured, making the rematch a lose-lose disguised as a payday.
Up at Canelo Crawford. I just want to get your reflections on that fight first.
It was a great fight by Crawford. Fought a very smart fight, just like I thought he would. The only problem I had was I was worried about his shoulder because some stuff came out about his shoulder being sore, so I didn't know about that. But if he didn't have any injuries, I knew it would be an easy walk for him.
Are you surprised by just how kind of confident and comfortable Terence was in there at all?
No, not at all, because if you watch Canelo struggles with guys that can box. Terence can box from both sides, left-handed or right-handed. So how could you be surprised?
So there's a lot of talk about what next for both men. With Canelo Alvarez, where do you think he goes from here?
I don't know. I think they're trying to have a rematch, so I don't know.
Do you think he can right the wrongs in a rematch?
I don't think so.
Roy wants Crawford to chase history, not just another payday, and that history lies in the missing middleweight belt, not a repetitive rematch. The stakes are enormous. If Crawford follows Roy Jones Jr.'s advice and captures a world title at 160 pounds, he would join an elite group including Manny Pacquiao and Oscar de la Hoya's, one of the very few fighters to win major world titles in 6 different weight classes. That's the kind of achievement that separates the great from the immortal. A legacy that outlasts any money from a Canelo rematch. Roy Jones Jr. knows this firsthand, having leaped from middleweight to heavyweight to chase history, and he sees that same spark in Crawford, urging him to secure the 6th belt and cement his name in boxing's history forever.
Well, in terms of a fantasy fight, if you'd have ever shared the ring with a 168 version of Terence Crawford, would that have been an intriguing matchup?
Not really. I like Terence. Terence is a very good fighter, but Terence grew up on Roy Jones. It's hard to tell you these guys gonna whoop Roy Jones when they grew up and they still asking questions to Roy Jones about how he did things. So they don't fully understand Roy Jones yet either. So it's hard to beat Roy Jones if you don't fully understand him yet. You understand me? So I mean, it's cool. He's a great fighter, don't get it wrong. And it would have been an intriguing fight because he has a heart and he has confidence. And he's a very challenging guy. That's what I like about him the most. That's why I knew he'd beat Canelo, because he stands up to the challenge. So he would have been something to deal with for a few rounds earlier. But I was a different guy. I was much faster than 90% of people I fought. You understand me? So it's like, with my speed level and with the precision and things, even him, I had him training yesterday. I watched him put together some 4 and 5 punch combinations, and I think it shocked him because of how quick he can do it. So it's not about necessarily talent. It's talent too, but you gotta have know-how with talent. I had know-how along with talent. That's what this kid has.
Terence Crawford stands at the final crossroads of his legendary career. One path promises a massive payday, but a repetitive battle with Canelo Alvarez.
For sure, but it's still, when you look at it, it's still excuses. Like I said before the fight, every one of my biggest fights, I say, I'm gonna be prepared for the excuses. When you so great and you so much ahead of your competition, you know, they look at the fighters that you fight and say they nobodies because how much you beat them by or the level of skills that you oppose against them. So when I fight this guy, it's all he was a nobody. When I fight this guy, all he was washed. When I fight this guy, it's an excuse, you know. So who you want me to fight? I beat this guy, it's an excuse. I beat this guy, you know, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. You know, we really didn't realize it until now when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know. And the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. And I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, you know. So I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at
The Other Path, highlighted by Roy Jones Jr., leads Crawford to the 160-pound division and a chance to complete a flawless run through the weight classes. The keys will be decided on December 6th, when Lara and Janibek collide, and Crawford has his sights set on the winner. If he makes this move, he won't just be a champion, he'll be the only man to conquer 6 divisions. The question is whether he'll follow the advice of a legend or let the lure of a Canelo payday distract him. The clock is ticking, and the middleweight division is about to get very interesting.
Not gonna judge Crawford over his last performance from Canelo, because there was, I don't care what a person say, they could say that Canelo's washed up, they say this, they say past his prime, yada yada yada. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at how he executed the plan and how he neutralized the threat. So he did a phenomenal job with that. Bowman came up with a great game plan for that. I really believe that Janibek can get outboxed. I think he's going to get outboxed. He goes into 160. It's all going to determine on how he look against Lara. Because Lara is a crafty southpaw. And remember, I said this to you before with William Skull and Canelo. Mm-hmm. I said if he struggles against William Skull and he boxes him, it's going to just keep the blueprint solid for Crawford. So it's one of those things. So Crawford is a nice southpaw. He's solid. He knows how to utilize a lot of things. And it's like little details that maybe some of the casuals don't see, like how he positioned his foot, how he made Canelo smother his shots and still gave Canelo better exchanges in the inside. There was a lot of high caliber. Like you can tell why he deserves to be in that stage. But I got him boxing Janibek, and then after that, just walk away.
Well done. Right, so what's next for both fighters? Let's start with Terence Crawford. Where does he go? He's just stepped up to 168 pounds and beat quite conclusively Canelo Alvarez there. And there's no one really now at super middleweight for him to test. Benavidez, he's gone up to light heavyweight. There's no one really in there. We saw Skull against Canelo, and Skull was quite slow and couldn't do much. I know Canelo stood off and didn't really stick it on him, but Skull showed no ambition. It's not a fight I want to see. I think really the only fight for both of these guys, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, is the rematch. Because where does Canelo go from here now? He's got a guy stepping up from welterweight, serving him up a bit of a whooping, because that's what it was. And now he's got, like, where does he go? He can't really compete up at light heavyweight because Bivol's done him. Benavidez has gone up to there now, and I don't think that's a fight he's going to fancy. I feel like a lot of people are saying he swerved that Benavidez fight, so I don't think he's going to want to go up to light heavyweight and fight him. So it's like the only sensible option, or the only real option, is the rematch. And that's the same for Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's now 168 pounds. Who does he fight? Who does he go for next? It's difficult. The There's no other real big names. I mean, there's a kid in England called Hamza Shiraz who's tapping on the door for something big. And I had a chat with him yesterday, and he's talking about the Canelo fight, and he'd take that. But realistically, is Canelo Alvarez or Terence Crawford going to want to jump in with Hamza Shiraz? I mean, Shiraz has got a great future ahead of him. I think he's going to do really well. But he's not in that mix, is he? If he gets an opportunity, go for it. Don't think Crawford would be interested. Canelo, it does nothing for him. So these two, really, the only fight for him is the rematch.
Is Canelo done after this? And if he's not, he has 2 more fights with Turki Al-Sheikh. What other 2 fights can we see from him?
When it's funny because when people ask me, are fighters done or this and that, I could never answer for a fighter if they're done or not, because it's a very personal decision from the fighter, including Canelo. As much as I hate him, actually, I don't hate, I just don't care for him. But if he wants to fight again or if he doesn't, that's obviously his decision. I have to respect that. So, but obviously, look, again, Crawford just took him to school. That's basically it. That's the bottom line. I mean, Crawford is older than Canelo, so we can't use the excuse that he's older, right? We can't use the excuse that, he moved around too much. Well, it's your job to figure him out, right? Just like Chavez would figure out a fighter, just like I would figure out a fighter, just like any real great fighter can figure styles out. That's your job. I think Crawford did a tremendous job. Kudos to him. Sky's the limit for Crawford, and I really don't know where Canelo goes.
That's a wrap for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming content. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.